In 1922, 24-year-old dial painter Amelia Maggia's lower jaw completely disintegrated, but doctors insisted radium wasn't the cause. Instead, medical officials blamed her gruesome bone loss on a secret, shameful case of advanced syphilis. It was a crushing diagnosis that ruined her memory, while conveniently protecting her wealthy employer from legal accountability. But Amelia wasn't an isolated tragedy. Across New Jersey, dozens of young women were mysteriously falling apart at the joints. Every single victim worked at the U.S. Radium factory, meticulously painting dark watch faces with glowing green paint. And to paint fine numbers quickly, managers gave them one instruction: lip, dip, paint. The lip-pointing technique meant shaping fine camel hair brushes between their lips hundreds of times a day, causing every young painter to swallow microdoses of radioactive radium with every single watch dial they finished.
Meanwhile, U.S. Radium's executive scientists handled that exact same glowing compound behind thick lead shielding using long mechanical tongs, because management already knew full well that radium was lethal.
So why assure teenager factory workers that glowing paint was safe enough to lick? Simple corporate math. Lip pointing was 3 times faster than washing brushes in water, and high-speed production meant massive multi-million-dollar military contract profits during the war. But by 1923, the deadly reality caught up as the dial painters developed horrific, agonizing bone decay and loose teeth that refused to mend. Local dentists pulled loose teeth, only for entire sections of crumbling jawbone to come out attached, leaving gaping wounds in their mouths that never healed. Terrified and desperate, the women sought help, but U.S. Radium moved aggressively to control the story by weaponizing one of the era's most destructive social taboos. The company hired complicit medical examiners and paid off corrupt local doctors to officially attribute every single case of bone necrosis to severe end-stage syphilis. In the 1920s, a public syphilis diagnosis brought crippling social exile, forcing these young women to hide in shame rather than compare terrifying symptoms with former coworkers. It was a chillingly effective strategy, using public stigma to keep isolated, dying factory workers from organizing joint lawsuits or uncovering the truth behind their decaying bodies. But as young women kept dying in identical horrific fashion, local public health officials began demanding answers, forcing U.S. Radium to commission an independent study to clear their name. They hired Harvard toxicologist Dr. Cecil Drinker, fully expecting an elite academic report that would whitewash the company and blame worker hygiene. Dr. Drinker conducted a rigorous, months-long study of the Newark factory floor, and what he found buried inside that facility was absolute horror. Practically every painter's clothing, skin, and teeth were glowing brightly under blue light, while airborne radioactive dust settled heavily into every corner of the workspace. Drinker submitted his final, uncompromising report to U.S. Radium executives, concluding that radium contamination was directly destroying the workers' blood and bones. Except, U.S. Radium didn't clean the factory or pay for medical bills. Instead, they quietly hijacked Dr. Drinker's report and altered the entire text. Corporate executives scrubbed every single warning from the document, replaced his tragic findings with a glowing bill of health, and forged Drinker's official academic signature at the bottom. They submitted this forged masterpiece to the New Jersey Department of Labor, legally burying the truth while keeping the factory lines humming at full capacity. When Dr. Drinker discovered the forgery, he published his real findings independently, but U.S. Radium simply denied the claims and insisted the medical science remained unproven. Enter Dr. Harrison Martland, a brilliant Essex County pathologist who realized that standard blood tests would never convince a court stacked with corporate lawyers. Martland needed indisputable physical evidence that radium was settling directly inside the human skeleton, and he knew exactly where to find it. In 1925, Martland received legal authorization to exhume the body of Amelia Maggia, who had been buried 3 years earlier under the shameful shadow of a fake diagnosis. Deep inside a pitch-black laboratory, Martland carefully scrubbed her jawbone clean, dried it, and laid the bone directly onto unexposed photographic film inside a sealed, light-proof box. He locked the box in total darkness for 10 full days, allowing whatever invisible energy remained inside her remains to interact with the silver emulsion. When Martland finally developed that film in the chemical bath, he saw something that chilled him to the core. The jawbone had literally taken its own photograph, producing brilliant white radiation prints that proved Amelia's bones were still actively emitting destructive alpha rays from beyond the grave. Martlin's bone film breakthrough shattered U.S. Radium's medical cover-up instantly, proving beyond any scientific doubt that radium poisoning, not syphilis, was disintegrating these women. 5 bedridden former painters, led by courageous worker Grace Fryer, finally dragged U.S. Radium into court in 1928 to demand justice before they died. The trial began with a scene that stunned the courtroom. When called to take the oath, the women were so weak they couldn't even lift their hands to swear in. Public fury erupted across the country as national headlines tracked the trial daily, putting immense pressure on U.S. Radium's image and board of directors. Crushed under public outrage and undeniable scientific proof, U.S. Radium surrendered and offered a massive settlement, providing cash, medical expenses, and life pensions for every survivor. But the true victory wasn't just money. This historic lawsuit established the legal precedent that individual employees have the right to sue employers for occupational health hazards. That breakthrough precedent fundamentally reshaped American labor law, directly leading to modern workplace protections and the eventual creation of safety agencies like OSHA. Amelia Maggia's jaw, once weaponized by corporate greed to enforce shameful silence, ultimately provided the luminous proof that protected millions of American workers for generations to come. If you enjoy history where the familiar story falls apart under the evidence, subscribe to Tales and Theories.